Hello, hello. While we're getting started, y'all stay here with CC for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we're public so we can make sure everybody's here.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Are you getting tacos? I wish I had some. Feel free to send them this way.
Who has some tacos?
No, I'm just saying it's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. You know.
Oh, it is Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody out there, man. It's Tuesday. We know we missed y'all on Friday, man. We back talking shit and having fun. We kind of talking a little bit about relationships, but we kind of ain't. I mean, it's kind of in between today. We really, we really looked in and found a topic for the day that I want to talk about today. It's something my friend had brought up, but we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Hey, Rock, how you doing, bro?
Shit, man, I can't call it. Everybody all right?
Can't call it, but you in that big ass goddamn you in that big ass SUV.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, if y'all ever want to ride with Rock, y'all he can hold about he probably hold about 1,000 of you motherfuckers in the back of that motherfucker.
Nah, just give me two.
Stack y'all on
Two.
top of each other.
Just send me two of them, ain't scared.
Hey Rock,
That's
what we
all.
need to do is we need to get us an 18 wheeler that travels across country and has like swinger parties in that motherfucker.
I thought you better say a podcast truck.
No, I'm trying to get a swingers party going on. Y'all ain't down for the swingers party? Y'all ain't down for the swingers party at all?
Afraid not.
Rock, you drive the truck, right?
Hell nah.
Why? Because you gonna be in the back of the truck, ain't you?
Shit, fucking right. Yeah, shit.
See, see, I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in where I fit in. I ain't
Yeah,
got no.
me too.
I ain't got no. I ain't got no CDL. So I gotta ride in the back.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta ride in the back. My grandkids are being loud around me. Sorry about that, y'all. So Rock, how was your week last week, man?
Oh, man, I don't complain. Everything. Yeah, I don't
Did
complain.
you get home last weekend? Did you get a chance to get home last weekend?
Yeah, I got in late Friday night.
Man, so let me ask you a question, because it's been you now been on your own now for about 6 months,
6 months.
8 months.
What you mean? What you mean?
Driving trucks. I'm talking about your own
Oh,
driving.
driving. Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Is it the best move you ever made in life?
Yeah, I should have been
As of
driving
right now.
trucks. Should have been driving trucks when I was goddamn in my 20s.
Yeah, but I'm talking about being an independent driver and owning your own rig and doing your own thing and making more money than what you used to
Should
make. I mean, I think
should
this
have
is
been
probably the
doing
best
it
decision
in
you
my
ever. Yeah.
20s.
Oh, okay. I see what you're
I
saying.
just
You should have
asked,
been owning them
yeah.
trucks in the 20s. Okay. Sierra, how your week was last week?
Last week, I've slept since then. I don't remember.
You slept at 10.
No, I slept since then. I do not remember.
I was about to say me and Rock, boy, we trying to find out if shit you slept since then. What's the problem?
I don't,
Um,
it was busy as usual.
Mm.
we do got a topic coming from y'all today, man, and our topic today is actually a positive, uplifting topic to everybody. We want y'all to know, and this is again, um, black men love natural black women. That's what we're here to talk about today. And the topic came up actually from a comedian and a friend of mine. If y'all want to follow him, his name is TC I'll Kill You. That's his comedian name. His name is Tarion Caldwell on Facebook. He is from the Fort Worth area, but he lives in Houston. He is an up and coming comedian and entrepreneur. And he brought up the topic the other day, and we're gonna play his video. I couldn't get the video uploaded, but we're gonna play majority of the video. It's about a 10-minute clip, and let's see what he's talking about. And then we're gonna come back and talk to me, Rock, and Sierra, and everybody else here, so that way y'all can understand. Sierra said the video is loud enough so y'all can hear. I'm gonna turn it around from time to time and let y'all see his face though. So here we go.
All right, ladies. It's early. It's early in the morning. I ain't even really got my day started yet, and and I'm already getting emails, and I said, you know what, this is the perfect topic for today. I had to pull over because this lady, she is 47 years old. Okay, she's recently divorced. She's back on a dating scene now. Okay, she's actually in Houston, Texas. I'm in Houston, Texas. So she said, well, TC, how do get noticed by men, you know, or how can I compete with these little girls? They got these nice bodies, they got these breasts, they got these little dresses on, these sundresses. I'm not built like that, I'm not their age. And guess what? You ain't in their lane neither. I want to know why women compare themselves to people that have $30, $40, $50, $60,000 worth of work done on their body. They're not regular. We talking about why are you comparing yourself to these girls or even to some of these women that are not married, that ain't in serious committed relationships. So what you basically saying is you want the same attention because that's all they get is attention. Listen to me. Quit trying to compare yourself to these women that got $30, $40, $50, $60,000 worth of work done. Ain't nobody built like that. Ain't nobody built like that. See, only women do that. Men, we don't do that. We don't do that. Now, y'all get mad at me for what I'm saying. If I'm saying something wrong, please click off. And you just come back when I'm saying something funny. But if you really want to know the truth, men don't do that. You don't look at another man and be like, man, damn, well, I wish I had it going on like that. Now, because every man thinks he got it going on. Now, we really don't. But we really think we got it going on. Every man, I don't care big, small, medium, tall, I don't care who he is. He think he got it going on. So when y'all going to identify the love within yourself, which is the most important love yourself first. A man know, we know when you ain't comfortable and confident who you are as a woman. We know that. We know you weak. We know we can take advantage of you. We know we can get you to maneuver and do things that you would normally do. You know, and this is another thing. What type of man y'all looking for? Because all y'all can't have no goddamn ball players and rappers and ballers, and you can't have that. Harold, that's what you get. You get Harold. Harold, good man, good hard-working man, gonna come home, gonna work, gonna respect you, gonna help you fold clothes if you need it. Harold, what you need. Quit looking for Demond and DeMarcus and Daquan and all these type niggas. All them niggas name with D. That's all them. Anytime somebody mama took so much effort and so much time into giving their son a sexy name, let me tell you something, she already knew he wasn't gonna be nothing. She already knew he wasn't gonna be about shit. Get you a simple name, man. Get you a simple-minded man. All these men want to be in the mirror. They got to go buy a new outfit every time they go out. They got to be designer from head to toe. If that's the man you after, then you ain't looking for no husband. They don't make no earls no more. Huh? Jeff, I guarantee you, throw in your phone. Jeff is a good man. Jeff gonna go home. Jeff gonna cook. He gonna cook something. If you need help cooking, he gonna wash that car. Gonna check them tires and oil for you. Jeff a good man. Y'all get y'all Jeff. All these new names. Daquan and DeMarcus and all these sexy names. Ooh, yeah, ooh. Your ass gonna be ooh, all right. Your ass gonna be ooh. Quit comparing yourself to women that got $30,000, $40,000 worth of work done on themselves. Well, that's what y'all like. No, that's what we like giving attention to. Just like we like going to the goddamn circus, don't mean we gonna marry no clown neither. Now I'm not saying because there's gonna be somebody on here that got a BBL 2 days ago. They're gonna be like, I ain't following him no more. Okay, you get mad all you want. Do what makes you happy and what makes you feel good. But if you doing something, if you altering your body to try to make yourself look more pleasing to a man, then you're doing it for the wrong reason anyway. Because we don't give a goddamn about no stretch marks. We don't give a damn about a little tummy. We don't give a damn if you feel like a ping pong powder. We love your ass. And 9 times out of 10, shit, we don't give a damn. You can go get $100,000 worth of work and still don't look pleasing to a man to where he want to be with you long term. So that's the end goal, to win in the end with a ring, what a man wants to commit to you. When he want to give you, he ready to commit, you know, give you sacrifice along the relationship. Sacrifice some of the things he's been accustomed to doing before he met you. Have an understanding for who you are and correcting the problem. Having respect for the relationship even when you're not around. And making other bitches respect the relationship. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk like that. I just, you know, it moved me. Making other females respect you when you ain't around. Because a lot of times y'all be respecting a relationship when your woman sits right beside you, but as soon as you get out and had a couple of drinks with your homeboys, are you still respecting that relationship? Are you making a person honor the relationship that you chose? S-U-R-E, you got to be for sure in a relationship. Effort. Being better every single day, getting better. You ain't doing the same two positions that you did when since y'all been knowing each other. You ain't going to the same two restaurants in the same two cities. Everybody, we don't want to go to grandmama house every other weekend. We tired of going to your grandmama house. We ought to seen money enough. Okay? Can we get our passports? Can we start traveling like grown people? I need a little bit more effort. So if you ain't looking for a man that's going to be for sure in a relationship, giving you S-U-R-E, sacrifice, understanding, respect, and effort, then what is the ultimate goal for you? To get likes? To get comments? Okay, now you gonna get you $30,000, $40,000 worth of work done on your ass and sit around here looking like a goddamn ping pong powder with some pixie stick ass legs and sit there with your ass tooted and booted with grease running down your ass every other 5 posts. We don't even know what your face looks like. Guess what? Well, that's what y'all showing attention to. We're not showing attention to that woman. We're showing attention to that body. And guess what? Don't nobody want her. I'm just telling you, don't nobody want, not no real man. Not no real man, and I'm sorry. If it's a build the body Barbie bitch on here right now mad at me about what I'm saying. She probably talking about how my mustache ain't connected all the way. I'm dressed like Wells Waldo or something. I don't care what you say. I'm just telling the truth. We don't want that. We don't want that. It's been proven. We don't want it. Well, why y'all like it and comment? Why y'all like the same way men do anything else? We don't know. We just comment, see some grease ass up. We just like it. You know, we might even put some hard eyes in front of there or something. We know good goddamn well that ain't gonna be our wife. We not walking down the aisle living nothing. We not exchanging nothing with her dad. We don't want her. I speak for probably 95% of heterosexual men. Straight, I ain't talking about bisexual men. I ain't talking about gay men. I ain't talking about confused men. I ain't talking about men that identify something else. I'm talking about heterosexual men like myself. We don't want this. We'll take a temporary fix, though. We'll take a short-term fix. But something long-term, we ain't giving that to us. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and say this. But the average man don't want other men having access to his lady's body at any time they want. They can go on your profile to see your ass. They can go on your profile to see your titties. They can go on your profile to see how you twerk, how you throw that ass in the bedroom. We don't care to give you things long term because you are a short term goal. And if you get mad about what I'm saying, it's something that you can't change about yourself. We don't want you. Not long term, baby. That don't make you a beautiful, that don't make you not be a beautiful woman. That don't make you have worth and value as that woman. But I'm just saying, most men don't want you. So why are the normal women or the hard-working women, the teachers, the nurses, why y'all so gun-ho about comparing yourselves to women that are clearly monetizing their body? They getting paid. They getting flew out. They getting this. They doing that. They got shit going on. They stripping. They dance. They whatever. You can't. You that ain't even something you should be. You ain't even in the same field. How can we compete? Why you trying to compete? You can't compete. I know who I am. I know who I am. I ain't trying to compete with no A.S.C. thing. That's $40 million thing right there walking down the street. I know I ain't trying to. I want to. Wish I could be like him. Look at all them girls on here. He ain't gonna be long term for them. It's okay being a regular, normal person. Because guess what? You're that person for a reason. And once you can identify the power and the worth that you have with just being who you are, then you're going to come across or God's going to put somebody in your path to discover who you are and ready to give you what you're willing to give them long term. So yeah, y'all stop comparing. Y'all comparing yourself to women that ain't been in no relationship past 5 years. Ain't been married. Ain't married. Don't want to be married. Don't have a family, and still y'all comparing yourselves to. Why are you comparing? What is the end goal for you? What is it that you're looking for? Because if you're looking for attention, I'm gonna tell you how to get it.
Thomas, wake up.
I'm here.
If you're looking for attention, I'm gonna tell you how to get it. Well, I got 1,000 people on this, a lot of people on here.
I'm here.
Looking for attention, I'm gonna tell you how to get it. Go in there right now in that room, that back room, you got that black lingerie, you still got the tag on because the nigga didn't act right. Light you about 2 or 3 candles. Go in there and get that black lingerie you got. You still got the tag on. You tried it on one time. You ain't even got no scent on it yet. Go in there and hike it up in your ass. Breathe it down real good. I want you to take a whole bunch of pictures because it's gonna take you a whole bunch of pictures to get it right. Hike that mid-age ass up. Stretch first because your legs gonna be hurt. You know you're old like me. And just take a couple of pictures and post it. You're gonna get the most response you ever had. But it don't mean that you ain't getting paid for it. Man ain't gonna put a ring on your finger because you got a fat ass and it's greasy. Sitting up there looking like ham, sitting there like a Thanksgiving turkey. You sitting there thinking you doing something good. We gonna look at it.
Nigga, I like ham.
Just eating. Let me break this down to you. Let me break it down to you. Okay, let me get back to you. Let me get back to you. I got 1,000 people.
He's almost done. It's almost over, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be talking.
It's just like fast food. We know it ain't good for us, but it's convenient. So yeah, we'll eat it. But we prefer a home-cooked meal in which you put your own ingredients. You go to the store, you prepare your meal as the liking of your taste. And that's what you do in a relationship. That's what you do in a serious relationship. You prepare something that's going to be long-term for you. You can put your own garlic powder in there. You can do your onion powder. You can do your green onions. You can do your regular onions. You know what I'm saying? You can do your basil. You can do it however you want to do. But when you pull up in that convenient line and get that hottie patati, we know that ain't good for us. But it's convenient and we'll eat it. I'll eat it. Come on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So do you thinking that these IG models and these people, they win and they not winning, they get attention. And no man wants them long term. This has been a message from Tarion Caldwell, a.k.a. Tcillkilya. You know the motto. You stay in your lane and drive your own speed and there won't be no traffic. Y'all heard from TC first. I know I love you, but I keep it true. Peace.
TC, much love, man. Y'all go follow him, man. If y'all don't follow him, please follow him. He is funny. He's hilarious. But he also has some serious shit that he sometimes talk about. I apologize for everybody who's been commenting. Ms. McNeil, Ms. Johnson, how y'all doing? First off, let me speak to y'all because we definitely did play that video first. But we played that video because what he played the other day, he definitely put out to let you know that black men still love natural black women. And we do. You know what I'm saying? And I think he hit home to some of the things that me and Rock and Suave and all of us talk about all the time on here. And I think it felt good to hear it from another man other than me, Rock and Suave. You know what I'm saying? Um, to hear women all the time say that they're trying to look good and they're competing with somebody who who again, like they said, all they're doing is getting likes. All they're doing is showing their body off, getting attention. Um, what are you competing with them for? You're seasoned. You know what I mean, Rock? You're seasoned. Your body might not look like theirs, but like he said, some of them paid $40,000 for that body. So I mean, how can you compete with that? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What do you think about what he said, Rock?
I mean, he spoke, you know what I'm saying, how he feels. I don't disagree with him for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about no BBL. At the end of the day, never mind that. I'm gonna skip that comment, but I'm just saying, yeah, I'm getting myself. We say that all the time. We said that 1,000. We just had the topic when the young lady from up north, what's her name, was on there. She was talking about how she, feel the need to compete and who's getting attention. Her and Miss Bev was saying, kind of speaking to that, who getting the attention and all that, and we was, saying that then. So yeah, I don't disagree with what he said, for the most part.
Uh,
Shit don't mean nothing
I'm
to
with
me.
you. I mean, I don't disagree with what he said. Miss Johnson, you said what makes a man think a woman make changes for them? No, we didn't say that y'all made changes for us. Y'all make changes to compete with these other young women out here that are on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else showing their bodies, and y'all try to compete with it. And that's what TC was talking about. Is that you see a woman, she looks all good, and you think that you got to compete. You got to make your body look just as good, or you got to try to show your body off to try to get the attention that she's getting because you think because that attention she's getting, she has a lot of niggas. She do got a lot of niggas that don't want her.
Man, whoever that was, watched that
You
same
might,
video
Miss
we
Johnson,
watched.
you might be right. You might don't, but there's a lot of women that do. I mean, if you heard TC when he first came on, there was a 40-something-year-old woman that came to him and asked and told him that that's how she felt that she had to compete against this woman. And he was telling her she shouldn't have. You don't have to. You're natural. I love you with the stretch marks and all the extra shit. That shit means you experienced. You done been through some shit in life.
To a certain
Well,
extent.
what they say on the movie, stretch marks mean one of two things. That means you were fat and got skinny, or you were skinny and got fat. Ain't that what that means? Or a little bit fat. I mean, you ain't got to be fat. You just get a little thick. You gonna get some stretch marks. So I mean, that shit don't bother us. That tiger stripe shit, that shit turn us on. Growl, motherfucker. Shit, make growl, motherfucker. Turn me the fuck on with that shit. Look back at me when you do it. Act like you gonna attack me for being on your ass in the first place. Act like we some animals. You know what I'm saying? How R. Kelly say in the jungle, ooh, 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 ah. Fuck that.
Wow, you better be careful with them R. Kelly quotes.
Man, listen, they need to free R. Kelly, man. If all these white men running free for all the shit they done did, they need to free R. Kelly shit. And then they need to lock up their motherfucking parents for letting that shit go on all these years and just now letting them try to put that man in jail. Shit. I'm just saying, they waited all them years, nigga. They should let that in here. They should have gave that nigga a award, not goddamn jail time. For staying out of jail for so long. Shit. I'm just being honest. I mean, that don't make no sense, but I mean, I just want to know. I mean, Sierra, how do you feel? I mean, you're a black woman, and you don't. I don't think you go on there and expose yourself like a lot of women do and try to get likes and everything. With that being said, how do you feel? I mean, do you feel like a black man just loves a natural black woman, or do you understand the difference of what we look at when we see those women?
Well, because I have a lot of male friends, um, I've learned that that's a temporary fix, like TC said. Um, it's nice to look at, but you're not really going to build anything with. So, like for example, the Instagram models who get all this work done, great, you're getting likes because you're getting paid for it. But in the long run, you're still gonna get old. Your body's still gonna sag, and you can't fix everything.
Miss Johnson, you said you're gonna join what? You're gonna join us on the podcast. You want me to send you a link to come in? Is that what you're asking? Because I don't know what you're saying. Go ahead, Sierra. Finish what you were saying. I just want to know what you were saying.
And then all that's left of you is whatever was inserted in your body after you die. So, like, it's pointless to me.
It's pointless. I agree. I mean, it is pointless. Miss Johnson, I'm sending you the link. Go ahead and talk rock for a second. I'm going to send her the link.
What? Shit. I'm driving. I ain't pay. What he say, Sierra?
He said, "Go
I was
ahead."
telling you to talk while I wait and send her the link, but I'm back now. I done sent it to her. Miss Johnson wants to come in and join in. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying all older women are like that, because a lot of older women are in their own lane. They're not worried about what that other woman brings. Not all women are like that, but there's a lot of women in their mid 30s, early 40s, and they're looking back and seeing these 25 and 20, under 30-year-old women have these bodies, and they think that they got to compete with that. That's what we want, and that's not what we're really looking for. You know, it's good to look at. But if she's out there exposing it to everybody for everybody to see, then it's accessible. Like TC said, it's accessible.
But listen though. What we got to stop doing, man. We having conversations and we speaking on certain topics and shit. Now everybody know what this is. We shouldn't have to keep goddamn breaking it down. We not saying everybody, cause we know it ain't every fucking body. It's just we just generalizing for the sake of keeping the goddamn conversation going. We shouldn't have to keep stopping for you hit dogs and you sensitive motherfuckers, cause it ain't everybody. We know that.
But like TC said, it's the majority though. Y'all are out again. Let's be honest. 10 years ago, 35, 40-year-old women hardly ever exposed themselves on Facebook. Nowadays, you're seeing it left and right all day, every day. All day, every day. And it's not just one doing it. It's a lot of them doing it. Consistently. And it's not just, understand, I have no problem with anything a woman where it doesn't make her less of a woman. I don't think so. But the reality of it is, the more you expose, the more you giving people access to.
And then you're not seen as valuable.
You know what I'm saying? If my dick was in every goddamn magazine and every woman know what my dick look like, they're not wondering no more. There's nothing for their imagination no more, except to actually have it. But there's nothing in their imagination. They don't see what it look like. They might desire it, but that's a temporary, because just like a woman, she's gonna be like, well, shit, everybody can have it because he done showed it to everybody. It's accessible. Y'all think of it the same way. If he's exposing like that, it's accessible to everybody. So we look at it the same way. Y'all are accessible. You know what I'm saying? And it's not cute, because the reality of it is, like I said, I love a natural woman. I love a woman that doesn't have to be, that isn't. Don't get me wrong, and there's nothing wrong with putting in work. We're not saying don't work on your body, don't go to the gym. We're not saying that. Do that all day long. If you work on it and you do that, that's cool. But if you work on it, you immediately get on Facebook and have your ass exposed, twerking and doing all the extra shit. You put yourself in a different category with us men. Now, if you working out, you look good, and nobody else gets to see that, and we happen to expose up on it, and we realize, God damn, she just fired another motherfucker. God damn it, shit. Well, we lucky, because guess what? It's not accessible.
I was always told
everybody don't got a key to it.
Mystery.
Everybody don't got a picture of it. Because remember, if your ass got on Facebook and it look any type of good, it's all over the internet now. Somebody just captured that picture and took it somewhere else. Somebody that perverted motherfuckers out of doing that shit. So with that being said, your ass everywhere now.
But you saying that like they give a damn, man. That ain't nothing. Like you're not gonna be able to reach today. You're not gonna be able to reach nobody with that shit.
Look at Miss Johnson that finally made an appearance with us. All these times she done been on here commenting in this comment line, and she finally done showed up. Rob, look at here. We done got her. Welcome, Miss Johnson. How you doing?
Hello.
I am great. Hey, sweetheart. I'm great today.
You're
So
great,
I
girl.
have a lot to say. I am.
Uh-oh.
I am still working, but I'm great. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to cut this light on
People,
so I can see you guys.
it's too many people on social media that validate and praise their fucking behavior. So
Yeah, there is too many people
on
on
one
social
hand,
media.
you saying like, you know what I'm saying, that ain't what niggas want or men, whatever, whatever, whatever. But yet they see, you know what I'm saying, people on social media, they see people on social media doing their thing, you know what I'm saying, and getting that attention, getting that love and whatnot. And you can't compete with 500 likes and 300 hearts and 200 dudes in their DM. Anybody try? None of them trying to hear nothing you saying, man.
It's an ego
You,
boost. That's
you
about
ain't
it.
reaching, and you not reaching none of them. And they will leave they man, and they will leave any kind of situation. If she want to walk around here and got that wear a thong up her ass to the motherfucking restaurant and wear her titties out with some pasties, and you got a problem with it, but yet it's 400 other niggas that's goddamn okay with that, and they like what they see, giving her them likes. She gonna go for them 400 likes, cause every one of them 400 dudes at any given time gonna be ready to go sit down at the same restaurant with her ass out and with them pasties on her titties. You know what I'm saying? Because they just there for the show.
Mm.
Well, I agree and then I disagree. So first, you have all caliber of women. So you have some women that are older, our kids are grown, and we want to make some changes. And it's not necessarily for any guy or any person. When for me, I had a tummy tuck. I didn't like when I worked out, I didn't like the way my body looked afterwards, but that was my choice. I didn't do it for my husband. Now I did run it by him, and he's like you guys. No, babe, you're good, you're good, you're good. But at the end of the day, when I look in the mirror, I want to see. I want to please myself. I want to be able to look and say, I like this. Now I know that I'm in my 50s, so for me, uh, my girls, I have two girls and I have a grandson. Uh, they grown. They're out there the house. They're doing their thing. And so when I started looking, and I was like, I'm working out, I'm walking, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but uh, I'm not I'm a Coke bottle shape, but it's not the average Coke bottle. I know that. So I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with when I put my clothes on, but initially I wasn't. So I made changes for me, not necessarily now being curvy, whether you're a big curvy girl or a small curvy girl, you're curved. So it doesn't matter what I put on. Even when I was at my heaviest, it didn't matter because all eyes was on me. When you have a confidence within yourself, it doesn't matter about anybody else. And so
Well, see,
it's all calibers of women. And when you lump us together, what you're
but,
saying
but,
is
but, but let me
we're
say
all
this,
the
Miss Johnson.
same.
Let me
I
say this.
I I,
We definitely ain't lumping y'all together. Let me
I
say
literally
this. We're
I
talking about
literally
those women. We're talking about those women that's
nah
doing it and competing with
yeah.
those girls and getting on Facebook and putting the pictures up and doing the same thing those girls are doing, trying to get those likes. You're not that 50-year-old woman that's getting in shape, getting on Facebook, showing her ass and twerking either. So I'm definitely
No,
not talking to you. What we're
well,
talking
no,
about
no,
is
no,
those
no.
ones like
Wait a
he
minute.
said. Like
Now I
he
will
said, he
twerk.
had a woman come to him and say she's 40 years old and she's trying to compete with somebody in her 20s that's done had work done. And he's like, why are you trying to compete with her? You're seasoned. You don't have to do that. Y'all don't. Like I said, I don't know. I know you. I mean, I see. I watch you old folks. We've been friends on Facebook for a while, man. You've been watching the show for a while, but I don't know why a lot of our older women, I don't know where they think their value lies at now, because a lot of them have went back to thinking that their value do lie in their body. And I hate to tell you, y'all value lies in y'all wisdom and knowledge and where you're at in life now. Your
Now
worth to
that's a
me has
true
nothing to
statement.
do with your body. I didn't get with Crystal because she's fine as hell. Don't get me wrong, it helped. It benefited a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the reality of it was her knowledge and what she learned over life is what I need. You know what I'm saying? You seasoned. You're way better than her. No matter what her body, if her body might be a little bit different, that you got to beat with that mental game.
Right, and that's the difference. So you're correct, Thomas. You are correct in what you're saying, but you have a lot of women that first they have low self-esteem. Now, I'm not saying competing, but we lose our value. We lose our value because we're looking for it within our mate, and sometimes we don't get it from our mate. And it could just be the lack of immaturity, because if you look at it, our generation, and not all guys, but our generation, they the PlayStation type. So if they're gonna play their PlayStation, but at the end of the day, so I'm 51. So but my husband, he might be 50, but mentally, is he 45 or is he 40 or is he 30? And I'm not speaking on my own situation, but I'm saying that when you sit down and you're like, okay, I need that intellect from you. I need that. But you're sitting there, I can look at you and you can say, okay, damn, she fine. Oh, damn, she fine. And you looking saying, well, shit, who am I? You come home to me and you treat me like I'm a pair of old slippers. But you'll turn around and you'll give compliments to somebody who has put in the work.
Mm.
So
well, I'll be honest. Let me say this, because I compliment our woman all the time, so she don't never have to worry about that. But also, if I see a nice ass, we look at it together. I say, man, ain't that ass nice right there? She is. She better look over there and tell me if that ass not nice. She don't think it's that nice. She gonna tell me what's wrong with it too. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I feel like I honestly feel like women take that as a negative when a man says something like that. We're saying it because we feel like you're our mate and we can tell you the truth and not need you take it anywhere out of context. That means he's probably not a cheater, like, because he's just saying, hey, she fine. Most men, if they think she's fine, they're not gonna tell you she's fine. They're gonna try to get in her drawers behind your back.
well, but and you have to understand what you're saying is correct, but then you also have to know your mate's mental, because at the end of the day, she might take that and be like, yeah, she fine, yeah, well, that butt is this and that butt is that, but at the end of the day, she's in her room saying, damn, well, what's wrong with me? Do I need to hike my ass up? What do I need to do? Because I want him to look at the way that you complimented on her. I need that same compliment, and I'm not getting it. We're both complimenting on her because you're saying, hey, baby, look at that ass. But then here I am, I don't look like her. And I'm looking at what you like.
But let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a question, because to be honest with you, I think to me the biggest problem in this whole thing is, because let's be honest, as a woman, you've never looked at a man and be like, that nigga fine in the bitch.
I do.
Okay, but I bet you ain't looked at but watch this. I bet you ain't looked at your husband and say, ooh, that nigga fine.
No, the
Okay.
difference
See,
is mentally,
watch this.
I might look at him and say that.
But hold up, Miss Johnson, watch the difference in it. He's being honest and you're not.
No. It's like this. I might look at that man and say, he's cute, or he's attractive. But that don't mean that that's my flavor. That just means, and I'm going to give a compliment. I'm going to say, hey, I like your smell. Now, if he's fine, if his physique is fine, I'm not going to give him that compliment. I'm going to say it in my head. But if I speak it out, then it could be disrespectful to my husband. Because at the end of the day, he might say, yeah, but then he's looking saying, I can't never compete to that. So you have, oh, wait a minute. So you have I don't know what just happened. Okay, I'm back. So you have situations where as a husband and wife, and I've been, like I told you once before, I've been married nearly 30 years, but I've been with him almost 29. So at some point, I'm never going to put him in a situation where he's going to have to feel like he's competing. He's never competing. And now my husband's not 6'5". He's not a chunk of muscles, but he's what I like. So to me, if we're out and about, I'm never going to make him feel like he's not enough. And when guys give compliments to women, that's what you're saying to your mate. As a woman, I'm looking in the mirror after you go to bed. I'm like, well, I mean, what's wrong with me? I mean, what do I need to do?
let me correct that, Miss Johnson. Let me correct that. That's how my matron sees it. What I'm saying to him, it might not be that. See, the biggest problem is the way you receive things. See, y'all receive things different than the way we receive things. I mean, I'm open and honest with sister. I'll sit up there and I'll be like, damn, that girl fine in the motherfucker. And it doesn't bother her because she knows damn well she's just fine. If I want her, trust me, you're going to know the difference when I want a woman. I'm going to seek after her. And I seek after my woman. If a man doesn't give that to his woman, that's on him. Me, I'm totally different. I give her that attention every day, all day. It's not a day that don't go by. But
think about it
what we
and
say
ask yourself.
it isn't there. Some of the things that we say isn't there to belittle you. It isn't there to make you feel like you're not enough. It's not there for that. Just because you receive it that way doesn't mean it is.
Right, but you have to speak like with your woman's her mental. A woman has to be confident in whatever the situation is. She has to be confident. Like for me, when I go, I don't care where I go. Now I'm not 6 feet. I'm a curvy girl, but when I go, when I step outside these streets, I'm looking at me. I'm not concerned about nobody else. I want to be the best me I can be. And I want to make sure that I'm sexy for Maryland, not necessarily somebody else. So if a compliment comes, that's fine. But if it don't, that's fine. Because I'm not coming out for the compliments. When I'm with my husband, I want him to know that I'm here for him. I don't care about nobody else. And that's where the difference is.
That confidence shouldn't come from me and my comments. And the reason why I say that is because my oldest daughter, she's 6'2", almost about 300 pounds. And she's the most confident motherfucker in this motherfucking world. You can't tell her she ain't fine. You know what I'm saying? And the reality of it is that, I feel like, it's a bigger picture sometimes when women go in that. The reality, because the reality, it isn't in your husband. Your confidence should not suffer in that statement with your husband. He shouldn't. Not if you know your husband. You've been married to him too long. You married him. You got to know him before you got with him. You should know him well enough in his comments. That is there to belittle you. And if you take it that way, there's a confidence issue within you. And you're right. That's a struggle. And I tell every woman, you shouldn't even be dating if you have that confidence issue.
Correct. So when you're looking at the situation, like for instance, if you're saying, hey, she's trying to compete, she's 40, she's trying to compete with a 20-year-old, something's wrong with that mental, because you cannot compete like that. But now, money-wise, as far as having surgery, you can have surgery and look like $1 million. And when I say that, what I'm saying is you can make some changes within yourself, but you can never compete mentally with a 20-year-old because you're so far advanced. And there's a reason why there's a generation this past generation, not my generation, let me say that, but this 80s and 90s generation, something's wrong with those kids, and something's wrong with the women.
Offended?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. So, but because they do things for attention, but the attention. If you're a bad girl, when you walk in the room, you're supposed to own that room. It doesn't matter about the what size you are. Your confidence is within yourself. But a lot of times you don't have that. You wasn't raised with, oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're pretty. Now, me personally, I was not raised to think that I was pretty. I was raised to think that I was too dark, that I was too skinny. So it took a lot for me to get to where I needed to be at. And now that I'm there in my 50s, I'm not doing it for nobody. I do it for me. When I make changes, if I look and I say, okay, I want my teeth to be whiter, I'm going to pay the money to have my teeth done. It's not because this woman over here or this guy or my husband. It's because of me. Because when I look in the mirror, I want to see different. Now, if a guy decides he doesn't, or if a woman decides she doesn't, but it's not because Halle Berry got her teeth bleached, so I'm gonna get my teeth bleached. My money ain't Halle Berry money.
But again, that's why he said in the first part of his comments, it's not meant for every woman. He's not talking about every woman. He's talking about those ones that are. You're saying you want a husband, but you're competing with someone who's had major body work, and they're only doing it so that way they can get likes off Facebook and get 400 comments on Facebook. That's the reason why they're doing it. Why are you doing it? You say you want a husband. None of them are fucking married.
Well, yeah,
The ones who do it
yeah,
on Facebook. They're on Facebook showing their ass, and they got 400 million commenting, but ain't 400 million lining up with a ring.
no, no.
Not one of them may ask you to marry them yet, and if he did, it was a joke in the first place. And we know that. That's what we're saying. Like, I understand. We know that there's women of value. We know that. We know there's women of value. But do they know their value?
No, and I think that that's the problem. They don't. They don't. And I think that that's the lack of training. I think that our generation, we did a poor job in ushering the generations, the 80s and the 90s, because your values should never be on the outer appearance, because the outer appearance is gonna change. It's gonna change. It's just like a building. If you watch that, if you look at a new building, look at that building 20 years from now. You know that building that collapsed in Florida and it killed all those people. When you initially looked at that building was solid. If you take your mind and say, okay, that's my body, our bodies change. So, but you have to change mentally, because you have somebody that's in their 40s or in their 50s and their body has changed, but mentally they still see a 20-year-old body. So, and they want to make the changes to compete, but what are you competing for? And that's where with women, we have to be able to be taught that, and a lot of times we're not. And let me say this, that goes back to, you have kids raising kids. 15-year-olds now, she's 30, she got a 15-year-old daughter now, she's 45, her daughter's 30, her granddaughter's 15. So where is the teaching? It's not. We when I was growing up, I had my grandmother, I had my mom. They were like, no, you ain't wearing that, no, you can't do this, no, you better not do this. Now it was a certain way that you had to carry yourself, and that's how I was raised. But as I got grown, I was like, when not grown, when I say like in my mid 40s, I was like, no, ain't nothing wrong with showing a little skin. And I do. I'll show my midstrip in a minute, because I paid a lot of money for that. So I said that with attitude. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But in the same token, I didn't add stuff. I'm already a curvy girl, so thick thighs, butt, hips, all that's my grandmama. I just kind of enhanced it for me.
Well,
so when I put on my clothes, it looks a certain way for me. So I said that. So now I want to. Okay.
Let me get Cisco interest. Cisco he said the biggest problem is everyone's definition of everything is always different, and fine isn't always top value.
Correct.
Hold up, Rock. I think Rock was about to say something while ago to what you were saying.
Rock,
so let me let him comment on what you had been saying earlier, I believe.
Me too. Afterwards.
And Sierra, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rock.
Go ahead. Let's hear ladies first.
Well, thank you. I was going to go back to what she said about, or no, what you all were talking about, how if you're married, you don't say somebody's fine out loud. Me and my husband do. We'll say we actually have a list, but it has to be somebody who's, number one, not married, number two, not accessible, and like we'll never meet them. Like everybody, he knows that my real husband is actually Christian Keys. So it's
we have those games too.
No, me and Crystal, we could be at the restaurant. If the goddamn waitress fine, we're gonna say she's fine. Fuck that.
Yeah. So we have those games where I love my dentist. I think he's my next husband in my new life, and his name is Dr. Bodner. I love him. I tell anybody that know me know she loved her dentist. She loved him, and I tell my husband, because he's my husband dentist too. But that, to me, that's harmless. But if I'm sitting here and a person passed me in the club and I'm like, damn, he's fine. No, that's borderline disrespect. Now I might be thinking it, but let me say this. Let me put my disclaimer there. Every marriage is different. What might work for you might not work for me. And you got to look at, for me, I've been married I'm looking at you. I think I've been married almost all your life. So if not
Not
all
all
yours,
mine.
no,
Definitely not
not
all mine.
yours. No. You with me. But with this
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
right
Yeah.
here,
All the Sierra life, yeah. Yeah, cause me
yeah.
and Rock,
So
we up there with you.
yeah. So to me, with you, I get it. You know you doing something different, which is perfect if it worked for you. But
Well,
for
no.
me,
Let me be honest with you. It's the honesty thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
too old to be lying anymore. I mean, them lies
correct,
just ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? If I look over at a woman ass and my wife, my woman ass, and yeah, she fine in a motherfucker. What the fuck?
correct. But
I
you
don't
don't.
mean that
But
don't mean I want her. What we gotta understand is just because
Right.
you look at it and say that, that don't mean you want her. That just means she's
mhm,
fine in the bitch.
correct.
Every
And
woman
that's
that we see is fine, we don't want. That don't mean that. You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all said with me and y'all, every man that's fine to you don't mean you want to fuck them.
no,
Mm-mm.
no, because they could be part of the itty bitty committee. I'm just saying. So, so I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Cause
I don't know. See, I
well,
don't see
I'm
that's that
just
shit.
saying. I'm just saying. But I get what you're saying, sweetheart. And you got to look at
Them niggas
what.
need love too.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
They need
Yeah.
prayer. Okay.
Yeah. There you go, baby. Go ahead. Carry on.
But any two
Now let's
people
talk
should
about
agree.
R. Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry, Rock.
Oh wait,
Did
I
you want to
wasn't
say
done.
something?
Hold on,
Oh,
Oh
go
honey.
yeah,
ahead,
hold up,
baby.
Sierra
Go. I'm
not done.
sorry.
She want to talk about R.
One
Kelly.
more,
Hmm.
one more thing. What was it? It was confidence. Okay, so your confidence, of course, you start building it as a child. I was already confident because, well, it was pretty much based off compliments, and it wasn't until I got with my husband that my confidence really um shot up because he would make me take pictures when I was the most uncomfortable. And so that helped me build my confidence. Once I saw it, it was like, oh, okay. But they were only for him. So I made sure that I can have this type of confidence outside of our relationship, but I would never show it outside of us. So now he gets pictures all the time because he helped me build my confidence.
And
Okay,
that's
that was it.
perfect. And that's
Rock,
perfect. That's perfect.
Rock.
What we talking about?
What Miss Johnson was saying when she first came on, and also what TC was finished saying, what TC was saying.
I mean, uh, I don't know. I don't know
Say
because
it, Miss Johnson can take it. She's a strong woman. She's 50 something years old. She's 50 years old. She said she can handle that. She done heard a lot
Yeah,
of shit like that.
just
She
say
fine.
what you gotta say. Speak it with your chest. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
so
I'm just too comfortable. I'm so sorry.
what
Go ahead.
I mean, right? I mean, again, like what people gonna do what they want to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm not gonna do, and what we all shouldn't sit here and do, is try to act like the topic and what the man said has no validity to it because we personally aren't that person he's describing, right? The reason this topic is even out there is because it's real and it goes on. Nothing happens in this world without influence. You don't buy that damn Mercedes because of Mercedes if it didn't stand for something and get you some kind of attention and they wasn't advertising it and you wasn't influenced through their advertisement to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? If you would have never known that you can do it and improve it or be better, you seeing other people doing it and you seeing, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's because they feel better about themselves, or maybe it's because they are getting the attention. Everyone's reasons are different, but a lot of things that we do is because we see other people doing it and we're influenced. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, the skinny guy, he might start going to the gym lifting weights because he saw the big motherfucker over here lifting weights. And, you know, he get a little attention like that. So now I'm gonna go to the gym. It happens. That's basically what the man's saying. They out here competing with old women, competing with young girls competing with old women and shit. And like I don't understand it. Everybody got their lane. And if you comfortable with yourself and you comfortable in your lane, you wouldn't even feel the need to do any of that shit. And it's not putting all women in the box. You know what I'm saying? If the shoe fit, the shoe fit. But on the same token, you can't put all the men in the box and say all men like women with BBL and they get all the attention. And then when you have men telling you, we look at the shit, we might like the picture because, like the man said, she got her ass greased up. That don't mean that that's what the fuck somebody want. But you see it so much, and some of these women see it so much, you can't tell them shit. That's my point that I said earlier. Because of social media, I don't give a damn what platform it is, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, OnlyFans, all that shit. You really can't. You can't. What can you say to people? You can't tell them nothing. They see too much of the other side of it for them to really take your opinion and consider it seriously.
Reality TV is what ruins it.
And it's more than just that though, but yeah, that's got a lot to do with it too. Because that again, it may say reality TV because these are people that we
The
know. They're
motherfucking
not. They're
Kardashians.
not.
The
They're not.
motherfucking Kardashians. The
Man,
white girls try to get black girls' bodies.
listen, listen, man, listen. They've been doing plastic surgery and all that shit way before the Kardashians and
That's
Way
what I'm
shit.
saying.
before.
They started this shit.
Doing
They
that
the
shit.
reason why this shit going
No,
on, man. I'm telling you,
No,
man. We need
no,
the
no,
Kardashians run
no,
the world.
no, no. They've been doing that shit
no, it's a
since
billion
the
dollar
'70s. They've been
corporation.
they've been they've
Way
been doing
before
plastic
then.
surgery since the '70s and shit. You can go back. Dolly Parton had them big old. There wasn't no natural boobies, man. Uh, I can name a whole lot of them. I'm into the female anatomy in the body, and you know, I can name a whole lot of women. Pamela Anderson back in the day, man, that stuff been going on. It
Yeah,
been going on.
I agree. It's been going on. But let me show you something. When black women started doing it more, it really became a lot of attention behind it. When white women
Correct.
was doing it, it was unnoticed. It was Pamela Anderson. Oh, she fine in the motherfucker. It's about Dolly Parton. She got some big titties. We didn't care how she got them. We just knew she had titties. But when a black woman, okay, when a black woman does it, it's a totally opposite thing. You know what I'm saying? There's attention to this thing, and now black women, we took attention to it, and these black women now they're going to get it done at a rapid rate. It's getting done at a rapid rate now. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It ain't.
The
it
gold,
is
It
the,
it,
because
it
now
ain't.
it's
It ain't.
more, but
the
now
It
it's
ain't.
PPP
more
loans was used
affordable.
for some PPP, but yeah, it's wrong PPP.
Yeah, but it's now
Well,
it's a little bit
that's
more affordable than it was
that's
back then, and we didn't cut on ourselves back then. Back
what it's
then, we
not.
didn't do that.
It's not about. I don't think it's about like affordable or Kardashians or anything like that. Like it's trendy shit, and everybody nowadays follow trendy shit. Couple people start getting BBLs. They was getting attention. They became famous because their bodies was damn near perfect. Why? Because BBL, there's a lot of famous people out here with no damn talent. Their only talent is they tummy tuck and they butt lift and the big old breast, and they got them a rapper. So now every other woman who are easily influenced, not all, some that are easily influenced or follow trends, monkey see, monkey do, they are now feeling the need to do that because they might feel like they can be the next one to get that. And if not that rapper, then I'm gonna get another or another. I mean, or they just might be doing it because they never had butt and they always wanted a big butt, or they never had breasts and they just wanted big breasts. But you know, I don't know, man. I don't I don't fucking know. But I will
But
tell you this: it's a
but
it's
but but,
it's a it's a it's a lost conversation that you and your partner, you never win it. You're never gonna get through to anyone with that message. It's a rap. It's
I
a
agree,
fucking
Rock.
rap. It's a fucking rap. Like you wasting time. I've come to the realization, whatever you feel, especially the younger generation coming up now, social media is taking over. You ain't got your mamas. You got the shit. Aunties is acting like, goddamn it, the nieces and the grandbabies and shit. I,
Yeah.
I know that personally. I know a few of mine. I hope they ain't watching who goddamn acting dressed like they goddamn grandbabies and shit. And they be in the picture with their grandbaby. Grandbaby might be 16, 17, but she got her butt tooted up. And the auntie got her butt tooted up right on with her. And she damn near 70.
And they both at the same grown club.
So if you got grown women competing with young women, following young women behavior because they think, I'm back out here now, whatever the case may be, or I done lived my life and it's time to have fun. And having fun to them look like what these young people doing. Who teaching who?
That's why. That's
So
why I
it's a
And see
constantly
that
say that
I'm
there's
it's
no
glad
it's,
you
more
it's
said that,
class.
really
Rock,
it's a wrap.
because
It's a
when I thought
it's a
about
wrap.
this show, when I thought about this show this whole weekend, that was my biggest thing that I came away from it. Like, now I know what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the aunties and all them teaching the nieces, now they being taught by these young motherfuckers, and we fucking the world up.
Man, listen, I'm gonna say this, and it ain't gonna sound good, but I'm just gonna be honest and shit. You know what I'm saying? Men need to be responsible for themselves and how they carry themselves. Um, we need to be men, but at the same time, we already know that we don't have a whole lot of good examples out here. Our fathers is missing. Our fathers, whether our fathers ran off and left our mothers, or our mothers left poor decisions, or our fathers end up
Oh,
in
we for
jail, or
real.
they end up dead, or they went to jail, or they end up dead. Whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? We don't have a whole lot of examples of good fucking men. And then, you know, again, like women, like they also need to be responsible for their shit too. You got some good women out here who condone these shit that some of these young girls is out here doing
Rock,
because
Rock,
they got
Rock.
their life.
Hold up,
I
Rock.
gotta hold up for it, man.
Cause I gotta stop you right there, man. I hate to disagree with you on that one. I think we got a lot of stand up men. But I think social media will ruin our young men too because they think us stand up men are corny than a bitch.
Call y'all
They think
simps.
stand up men are
There is
corny than a
not.
bitch.
Yeah, they call y'all simps.
Social
So
media is
if
what
they
they them niggas out there toting guns with their pants sagging. That's what they want to see. Them 40-year-old niggas doing that shit. That's what they look up to.
them 40-year-old niggas probably been doing that shit all their life. So them same little kids, them young niggas who was doing that shit all their life, them same little kids grew up seeing all that shit, and their mamas was choosing them niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying? I just said earlier, men got to be responsible for themselves,
Yeah,
goddamn it, and,
that's
and,
true.
and take accountability and ownership for themselves. But there's not a lot of great examples of solid ass men. There's a lot of
Honestly,
bullshit ass
there's
niggas
none.
out here. There's a lot of bullshit niggas out here.
Oh, I agree with that.
Okay, so then there wasn't no point in disagreeing in the first place. That's what I said the first time.
But
We
no,
don't
I
have
feel like
a
there is a lot. But I feel like I honestly feel like that. I feel like like when one of our nephews go astray, they say they didn't have no good example. They like bullshit. They had rock in their life, but they didn't take advantage of that example either.
no,
Some of
no.
these young men
If
have
if
examples,
if if
and they
if,
just
if
don't
my
take
nephew
advantage of it.
if my nephew tell me he ain't had no good example in his life, I ain't finna argue with him because I got a nephew, but I ain't in his life every day, day to day. He don't see me every day, day to day.
That's true, but that street go both ways on that. If he's getting into trouble, he needs advice and everything. I guarantee he can pick up the phone and say, "Huh, Uncle Rock, man, this what's
And the
going on, man.
same,
I need your help."
and I'm gonna tell you the same thing I just said when I'm talking about these women. Okay, whether they want to look at me as a person who done made it through the bullshit he been through, and now he working and got his shit, trying to get his shit together still, and he out of trouble. That's just me. There's 1,000 other motherfucking examples of what they think a man is based off where they come from and their
Yeah, that's
circumstances
true.
and the
That's
shit they
true.
see on social media. The same shit I'm saying about these women. It's a lost fucking cause. As
Mm.
long as we got social media and all this shit and we excusing, I don't give a damn that my damn daughter ever turned 18. The moment she goddamn come through the door in my house with her titties out and her goddamn shorts up her asshole and shit, she finna get turned right the fuck around. And you come back home when you can dress like you got some motherfucking sense. Then you can come back through my door. But a lot of us excuse that bullshit behavior because they grown now. I can't tell them nothing. That's bullshit. I'm 39 years old. My mom and my daddy still can tell me something.
Still can. But you know what? I tell you what it is. They locked up Bill Cosby. When the Huxtable name was in place, man, none of this shit was going on. And
That's
Huxtable, they fucked up
bullshit.
the Huxtable name.
That's
They fucked up the
bullshit.
Huxtable name. I'm telling you, fool, when the Huxtable,
That's
we didn't have this shit
bullshit.
when the Huxtable was going on.
That's
Take us
bullshit.
back to the Huxtable days.
Man, let me tell you something.
Well,
I had the Huxtables. I had the Huxtables, and I also had goddamn Colors and goddamn New Jack City and Doggy Style and Too Short, and I had goddamn Fat Cat, Nicky
mm,
Barnes, and all the niggas. Goddamn,
okay.
who you
What's
think
that show
goddamn
with
had a bigger influence? It wasn't no damn Huxtable.
the girl from New Jack City?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of look at things and say, our generation, to me, we dropped the ball, but the generation before us dropped the ball with us. Now, uh, for me, I had more structure. I was more reserved as a kid, but as I got older, I was like, I wilded out for a little bit, but for the most part, when I got married and had kids, I want them to experience something that I didn't experience, which was a house with a mom and a father. And so I raised them a lot differently. I'm not friends with my girls. I have a 30-year-old and I have a 27-year-old. I'm not friends with them, but if I got to put my foot down, because at the end of the day, I'm not your friend, I'm your mom, and I'm gonna always carry that role, because that role is the greatest role God could have ever gave me outside of being someone's wife. So I don't think that when kids turn 18, they're grown. I think that our kids are gonna need us always. They're gonna, even if and I always look at it like a car. I'm driving the car. Now I'm in the passenger seat as you're getting older. And as you're maturing, I'm in the back seat. Eventually, I'm outside of that car, but I'm able to give you advice if you're willing to take it. A lot of these kids are not willing to take it because they idolize the wrong thing. They idolize those Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. They idolize those people. And don't get me wrong, we didn't grow up with those type of artists. Now the worst artist that we could have ever had, far as with her mouth, was Jackson. Now I don't know if y'all remember her.
Uh-uh. Adina Howard.
Well,
We
Dina
did grow
Howard
up with that.
too.
Adina Howard. Y'all
Yeah,
crazy there.
but
Adina Howard
yeah,
was a freak. Shit.
yeah. So, but you knew those type of women, and depending on the way that you were brought up, you didn't listen to that music. Now you snuck to listen to it, or you heard it at one of your relatives' house that were kind of out there a
well,
little bit. But for the most part, you learned how to respect yourself.
well, let me show you this. The crazy part was we grew up with probably one of the biggest strippers became entertainers ever, and nobody ever pays attention to it because she didn't tie her stripping to her entertainment at all. Like she never wanted you to know that she was a stripper. I talk about Eve. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
She was a dancer. She was in a stripper was supposed to do anything else, just like the rest of these ones coming up are. You know what I'm saying? And then she became a rapper, and then now she's an actress. But when she became even when she was a rapper, she kept her stripper life complete. She tried to keep it completely out of social media. She
Yeah,
tried to keep that class. She tried to keep some kind of classiness to her. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays they just let it be wide open. Like, man, I'm dancing. I'm showing this motherfucking shit out. You know what I'm saying? They ain't ashamed to tell you they showing everything. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Back then it was
but then
totally different.
right, because back then, ain't no way you would walk the streets the way some of these women are walking. But I get it. We're just in a different era. And to me, some of it I blame social media. 90% of it I blame social media. But then I also blame the reality shows, because they don't necessarily, these kids are watching this TV, and they're watching a lot of this TV. And
But the, the,
so,
the but I'm with Rock. I think 50% belongs on the parents. If you
oh
condone certain
yeah,
shit, because let me tell you
Man,
something.
it
You
belong on. Listen, It
But the reason
belongs
why I say
on the women.
no,
It
no, hold up,
belongs on the women.
but hold up, no. Let me say this though, Rock. Let me say this. The reason why I say that is because if they do it on social media, it's cool. But if you allow them to do it in front of you, that's a totally different thing, as a woman or a man. In other words, if you see your daughter dressed in a certain way, and you're like, I don't give a fuck what that bitch on that goddamn video doing. Take that shit off. She gonna go take that shit off, or you and her gonna have a more bigger issue. I think when your kids respect you enough, they're gonna go take that shit off and have enough respect for you to do what you told them to do. Same thing Rock said when he tell his girl, take your ass. She probably gonna go change her clothes and bring her ass home and get what the hell she got coming to her, because she probably gonna be like, man, fuck that. That nigga gonna ride for me when I need him. So I'm not gonna buck him on this one. Now, if he said that,
Well, but she ain't gonna even come in the house like that. Now she might be out and about with her
she already
friends
knows
like
Rock.
that,
You see
but
what I'm saying?
she already know her daddy, so she already know not to do that. Like for me, my girls, I'm not telling you I got perfect kids, because I don't. But in the same token, I know that even now, I might be talking to my 30-year-old, and I might be chopping it up with her, but it's certain things that she ain't gonna tell me, and I respect that. I might be like, well, no, let's hang out, let's do this, and she's like, nah, mama, because at the end of the day, you still my mama, and I still gotta respect you. So I get that, and I just had a conversation last week with a good friend of mine, and I was telling her, everybody, it's no right or wrong way to raise kids. We didn't get books, and our parents didn't get books, and their parents didn't get books. So it's not like I can go in this book and say, okay, oh, you acting like this, oh, this right here is what's going on, or this right here. We don't get books when we get these babies. So some of us, we're gonna have some perfect kids, and then we're gonna stick our chest out. My one of my daughters is a deputy, the other one is a nurse. I'm sticking my chest out. Yeah, that's my daughter. Yeah. But if they selling drugs, that's still my child.
Yeah.
So, and that means that something happened. Even
Well,
if my girls are both professionals, they still are human. We still fall. Ain't nobody perfect.
Well, let me say this. Me and you definitely agree on the part about. I don't feel like true parenting starts until your kids turn 18. And the reason why I say that is because they're beneath your tutelage until they're 18. They're most of the time they're beneath your house. You know what's going on the majority of the time. What's going on with them? You got your fingerprint on them majority of the time under that age. Majority of good parents. Let me say that.
Correct.
All parents ain't like that. So with that being said, when 18 comes, that's when it's time for them to go to college or start a job or start something out there in life, and it's time for you to sit back and see what they picked up from what you taught them, what they didn't pick up, and then what you might have left out along the way. And now it's time to take that parenting and evolve it to a bigger level and be able to be that person and put that input in their life. I feel like that's the most important part, because between 18 and 25 and 18 and 30, I say 18 and 25 for women, 18 and 30 for maturity in men. And with that being said, in between that 18 and 30-year-old, when you send them out there, if you don't give them no tutelage along the way, a lot of them don't make it. Then they do fail a lot. But when you're there as a parent and you're being the parent that God told you to be, when He said you're a parent, He didn't say, oh, you're a parent. When they get 18, they're on their own. He didn't say that. He said, when you're a parent, you leave earth. So with that being said, I'm a parent. You know what? Whatever goes on with them, I got to ride with them. I got to go through it with them. And that's the same thing I tell Crystal. I have to go through it with them. It's not something I want to go through all the time, but it's something I have to go through as a parent. You know what I'm saying? If my daughter makes a bad decision, I have to live with that decision with her.
Yeah.
She doesn't live with it alone, no matter how much she believes that she doesn't. Because I'm her mom. I'm her dad, and her mom is her mom. We're gonna ride all the time. Every time you're in trouble, we're gonna be there. And we're gonna suffer with you, no matter how much you think we're not. We are. Because every time our kids hurt, we hurt. But the biggest problem is we try to stop them from doing. And it's hard because some of our parents did the same for us, but a lot of us didn't have that parenting in our life. So it's not an excuse; it's the truth. But with a lot of us around, you have that person that's around to stop them self-inflicted wounds.
It's true statement.
Because a lot of us, majority of our mishaps and our bad decisions, everything bad that we went through in life, no matter how much we like it, the majority of it is self-inflicted. We made the choice to do those things. We made the choice to stay in a bad relationship. We made the choice to date this person after we seen things that was not to our liking from the get-go. These are choices that we made. Those weren't things that happened. Those are things that we allowed to happen because we made the choice to stay in it. So again, as a parent, we have to be the one to stop those self-inflicted wounds. We have to be the one to remind them that we went through that. We have to make them understand that we truly live that. You know what I'm saying? Not just saying it, we actually truly live it. We actually show you that we live it. We got some validation behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I look at it just slightly different. I feel like as my girls, I'm gonna tell you, hey, that's a hole right there. You're gonna know that there's a hole. Now, if you make the decision to do something different, it ain't because I didn't tell you there was a hole. You just chose to do something else, and because of that, there is consequences. And I always say it's consequences and repercussions. So you got to be able to deal with it. If you're grown enough to do it, then you're grown enough to deal with it. But you can't say that you didn't know, and you still make the choice that you made. But I know we're getting ready to wrap this up, and I got to talk about R. Kelly.
What about him?
So now, y'all made a statement. I honestly, from self-experience, when I was a young girl, I dated somebody that was 7 years older than me. I was in high school. I was in going to high school. He was out of school. I did that, um, and now same thing. We did it, and I have my whole generation. We didn't want guys our age. Cause they were playing by. We didn't want
Miss
that.
Johnson, but see, that's why we don't talk about it, because with if me and Rock brought that up, they would dog us for it because we men, they think we pervert type shit, and that ain't the truth. The truth was when I was in 9th and 10th grade. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I talked to upper class without a problem. It was totally different thing. I was yellow, and back then yellow wasn't just the norm. You know what I'm saying? But the reality of it was, for most kids in 9th and 10th grade, if they try to talk to anybody a sophomore or higher, nigga, you too young for me. You too young for me. And then you see the nigga pull up from the corner selling dope in his cutlass, pulling up from school, goddamn it, with the 30s and Vogues on that hoe. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know what he do. He's 23, 24 years old. She's 16. You know what I'm saying? So again, I mean, my grandfather was 24. My grandmother was 14 when they got married.
Correct.
So,
I got that in my family too. So but you kind of have to look at it a couple of different ways. Now, I'm not justifying and saying it's right, because right now in this era, they're looking at it saying it's wrong. But if that same situation would have happened in the 80s, and it did, no one said it was wrong. No one said no, because that girl, like for me, I've always been mature. I've never looked like a little girl. I've always been curvy. So I didn't catch the little boy's eyes at school. I caught the grown man's eyes. So, and they were speaking because I was mature. They were speaking where I could understand, because oh boy, talking about, yeah, me and my homeboys and this, and you like, well, wait a minute. So you like what you like, but in the same token, now think about it. This happened in the 90s, in the 80s, but then look at it with Jerry Lee. Jerry Lee was entertainer. Elvis Presley was an entertainer. They were way older than their, and it was accepted.
Elvis Presley's first wife was way younger.
Yeah. But they accepted it. It's the same type of behavior. It's just different because it's in a different time. And we're looking at it, but to your point, go back to the parent, because if my daughter, when she went to high school, my spidey senses, because I know what I went through. So when she went to high school, the first guy that tried to holler at her, he was 18. I was like, oh, no. And she was like, but mama, no. That's not going to go on in my home. So no, because I knew mentally she was not mature enough to deal with that relationship. So I put a stop to that. But I could have been that parent to say, well, shit, it worked for me, so it could work for her. But it didn't. It grew me up faster than it should have.
But no, it's the reality that we grew up in a time and era where a lot of our innocence was definitely portrayed upon a lot differently. You know what I'm saying? And now, like with my grandkids, I'll do anything to keep their innocence as pure as I can, as long
Correct. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Every bit of their innocence. It's just not just a sexual thing, period. Everything about them, I want them to keep it innocent. They are the sweetest things in the world, and they're the most precious thing in the world to me. You know what I'm saying? So I just say, as parents, we have to we have to notice our kids, and then as far as we, like you said, somebody that's older, you have to pay attention to those things, and you have to know your child. You know what I'm saying? We know our kids. We know if our daughter is old enough to be talking to somebody that age. And that's just being honest. Because the reality of it is, in some cases, you can't stop it. You can't walk around and watch her 24 hours a day and make sure she's not talking to him. You know what I'm saying? Or he's not talking to her. Either way, you know what I'm saying? What you got to do is be able to, like you say, be able to be mature enough to have that conversation with your child and be able to make them understand why and why it's safer to do it the way you're asking her to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know. Like I said, the R. Kelly thing has always been a touchy subject with me because, like I tell everybody, whatever they're convicting him for, you can't take him away from the king of R&B. I don't give a fuck what y'all got to say.
There you
Y'all
go.
kiss my ass. His music gonna live on forever.
Correct.
Forever. That nigga's a legend. And he will always be a legend. I think if y'all ever give him a mic again, we'll probably get the whole story.
Oh yeah. When I tell you, he goes.
I think y'all need to give it to him because that nigga the best storyteller in the industry. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Let him tell us another. Let us tell him another goddamn 12. What's that story? Goddamn, he told us goddamn it shit. Like in the closet. God, let him tell us about the trapped in the closet shit. Goddamn it again. I'm just saying. I hate that he's going through it, but I do feel like he will just like Bill Cosby. He'll have his day in court again. I do feel like everything.
I think he'll have. I hope he would, but I know that he's not because it's the time that we're living in right now. And right now,
well, everybody thought Bill Cosby would. Let me say this for everybody out there that understands something, man. When you start making millions, it ain't when you start making money like they make. They're not. That's why we tell you women out here that always want to go chase all that money and everything. It's a totally different world when you get out there with people that's making millions. Because most of them make you sign what they call it a DNA. I mean, a DNR. Do not talk. I mean, you cannot talk about what goes on between you and that person. And most of the time in those cases, when you sign that DNR, it stands up in court. It don't matter if they're underage or not. If their parents signed it for them, it's legal.
Yep.
And that's the problem. I do feel like I feel like with his money and the people that he had behind him for what he had going on for so long, trust me, he got those in place. Bill Cosby had them in place, and that's the reason why he's free today. Because he went to trial back in the day, and everything that was disclosed in the trial back in the day was never supposed to be talked about again. And when they went to court and testified 30 years later, they broke that clause. But that clause can never be broken because it was instated by the courts of the United States court of law. So
but that man should never been in jail. That man should never been in jail. Period.
He should never been in jail. I don't agree with it. But they convicted him so they could trash his name because again, it's all about no matter how much I like it. Women have women music. Black women have their own black music, black movements and everything. But for us black men, they always try to take us down. The best of us, they always want to trash our name. They always want to take us down. No matter how much he's free today, he's never free because you ruined every image that he ever made. We're talking about Fat Albert and everything that we grew up on.
Correct.
You ruined the whole goddamn man's legacy. So with that being
I
said,
know.
the damage was done. If he never went to prison, the damage was done.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You ruined this man's whole legacy. You try to do it with R. Kelly. The problem is, in today's world, R. Kelly grew up in the social media world. What Bill Cosby didn't. Bill Cosby was before the World Wide Web in 2000. When the World Wide Web was around. So in the social media world, R. Kelly's the shit. You'll never take him away. You can never take him away. Some of Bill Cosby stuff you can do away with. Nobody ever will see it.
So yeah. That's a true statement.
So like I said, again, they trashed two of the greatest legacies of a black man that we've ever looked at. You know what I'm saying? They've done it with all of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's the biggest thing. We know, like I said, Tiger Woods. They talk about his cheating and everything else. Well, every guy, all the white big goddamn golfers done cheated too. Goddamn it, y'all didn't go into their legacy like that and tear them down the way you tore down Tiger when he went through his. I mean, those are things that just stood out on me during over time. So, like I said, I feel like it's just a pawn to take down the black man image. They've been taking us out of households since the 70s and the 80s. And they continuously trying to do it today, and they trying to do it in many different ways. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm with you, Miss Johnson. it was done. That's been going on since before we was around. That's been going on since our grandparents. You know, our
Mm-hmm.
grandparents was dating niggas that was older. Our grandmother was
Mm-hmm.
dating niggas that was older. So I mean, shit, what was they expecting? You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna change. That's just something that's gonna go on. You like what you like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You see somebody, you know, you 16 years old, you 21, and you like them. You like them. There's nothing we can do about that. That shit's gonna happen. Now, are we mature? Are you mature enough to handle that relationship? That's a whole other thing that your parents and you need to sit down and talk about.
I
Because the
agree.
reality, lying about it can cause a lot of problems and like you said, it can ruin some people's lives. Like I
Yeah.
said, I had a friend of mine that dated. He was he was 18 and she was 15, but in the state of Texas it's 3 years and 1 day older than you. If they're 3 years and 1 day older than you, then it's statutory rape. You know, they both was
Mm-hmm.
in high school. He was a senior and she was a freshman, and he spent 17 years of his life locked away for a consensual sex act that was between two teenagers. It was all because her grandparent filed charges. So like I
Yeah.
said, you know, it's a totally different thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you have to really understand it. I've always stayed around. When I met Chandra, first time Chandra ever got in my car, I asked her for ID. You know what I'm saying? She was still in high school. I was 22. After he went to jail, I mean, he was my friend, but my best friend. I'm definitely not gonna take no chance. I know the law. So when she got in the car, and she was 18. She can keep on riding. You know what I'm saying? Even though 17 is
Yeah.
potential, that don't mean 17 don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Be 18, get this mother right there. But I mean,
And
I do
see,
agree with it. But back to the topic and wrapping it up for the day. Miss Johnson, you guess I'm gonna let you close out with the final say, and then I go to Sierra and then Rock, and then me, and we'll finish it up.
well,
Um,
guys, I thank you so much for
what would you?
allowing me to join. Go
Well,
ahead.
we thank you for coming on and finally coming on and saying something besides being in the comments. But we asked you on before, and you didn't get to make it on. So today, I thank you for coming on and hanging out with us for about an hour or so. Uh, Honestly, though, as a woman that's not like the women we was talking about, what would you say to the women out there that's seeking that type of attention that Mr. TC was talking about? What would you say to them? Because they say they're looking for a husband, but they're chasing after the attention that she seeks. Well, I mean, what would you have to say to those women?
Well, first, I would say to them, you got to look in the mirror and love yourself. And you got to talk to that little girl because something's broke, something's missing. And uh, it could be spiritual, it could be mental, but there's something missing for you to assume that you can compete with someone that is 20 or 30 years younger than you. You can't. It's different. So because it's different, uh, something's missing. I would seek counseling. I would go to your pastor. But even that, you have older people around you. Sometimes you have to reconnect to those people and kind of figure out what's your next step. You're at 40. Are you having a midlife crisis? What's going on? And a lot of times you have girlfriends that you should be able to sit down and say, you know what, something's wrong. I do a connect with all my circle friends. Hey, because I'm not perfect. I effed up all the time. And so I tell people in my circle, it's all different types of ages because I want to pour in and I want you to pour into me. And everybody can learn from somebody. You might not like what they're saying, but everybody can learn from somebody. And if I had a friend that was doing that, the first thing I would tell her is, baby, love yourself. Because once you fall in love with you, everything else, it ain't gonna matter. That's what I would say. Thomas, you there? Oh dang, Thomas gone. All right, baby doll, it's just you and me on this show.
Yeah, he always disappears. He'll be back.
Okay. So now, what would you say?
I would say stop seeking the wrong type of attention. If it makes you feel confident, take the pictures. You don't have to post them. Just keep them to yourself. Um,
That's correct.
women
Welcome back,
today,
Thomas. Go
women
ahead, baby.
today seem to need validation, and they're getting it from all the wrong places. It starts within, and then works its way out.
Correct.
Okay.
Tommy?
That's all. Go,
Why you
go,
say
Thomas.
start within?
Why do you say start within?
You hear? Yeah.
Because you have to love yourself first before you can love anybody else.
But they are. They loving themselves. They want to change the way they look. They want their body to look good. So I mean, they're
That's
starting
not
from the
No,
loving
outside.
yourself.
no,
That
that's not loving you.
I mean,
That's just the
I was just trying to put
outside.
the lip. Oh, I mean, I've heard women say that. I mean, you know, I'm loving me. Look how good I look. Okay, well, that's what's up.
No, because that's not loving
That's
you.
not loving
Because
yourself.
it's on the no, because at the end of the day, if something's broken and you're competing, now if you look in the mirror and say, you know, like for me, I look in the mirror, I said, you know what, I'm gonna make this change. I made that change for me, but I'm not competing with nobody but me. But if you looking in the mirror and you're saying I'm 40 and I want to compete with this 20-year-old, then now there's a disconnect because you can't. So that's where you have to turn the mirror around and look at yourself and say, hey, what are you doing? I can't compete with my 30-year-old daughter or my 27-year-old.
That's true.
Now I
And
might
why
look and
you
say,
want to? I mean,
dang,
that's the problem.
correct.
She
I
look
don't
good.
want to. Yeah, when
Yeah.
I open my mouth to speak, I want you to know
Yeah,
that
I look
there's
at
wisdom.
my sons all the time. And be like, man, I made some handsome sons.
Yeah, and be
I
like,
made some
boy,
handsome sons. But I don't want to compete with them. Now, I ain't gonna never let them whip my ass, but I ain't gonna compete with them either.
because at the end of the day, you
I mean, you know, that's
still
a
a
man
parent.
thing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you still a parent. So when I'm looking at my girls, I'm like, I'm proud of them, but I can't compete with them. I gotta stay in
And
my
see, my
own
baby,
lane.
and see, I got 5 kids, and my baby will be 18 in July. So, you know, I'm done after this one. This is my baby. And of course, I got my
you
new
want?
family, which is Katie. She
What
started
you
back over.
want?
She's 10, so I'm starting back over.
You want
And the
water? You
funny
gotta
thing
go
is that she
downstairs.
said, you know, we talk about
Zaire needs to get
consequences.
her
You know, we
sock off
talked
the
to Katie
floor.
about consequences. You know, and you know, I tell people, you know, there's consequences to the attention that you get, whether you believe it or not. There's actually consequences to those things. You know what I'm saying? Because you sometimes you attract a creep or a aggressive dude or maybe a abusive dude. You know what I'm saying? So there's
That's
consequences
true.
because you got to understand with that body and that attention that you're seeking. You know, you got a man over here and be like, man, that's my bitch or that's my girl. However these young
Yep.
niggas perceive it. You know what I'm saying? And he's not willing to let nobody have you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you are entertaining and allowing your body to be shown. You don't know what you're gonna get from that man. So
That's true.
again,
That's
having
true.
that body and seeking that attention might not always be what you need to be seeking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes conserve it and let somebody be surprised by what you got under them clothes. Damn, girl, what
That's
you
the
been
truth,
hiding all
though.
that shit from? Where the hell you get all that shit at? God damn. You that goddamn fine? Why the fuck damn? Why you been hiding that shit? Because I don't need everybody to see it. It ain't for everybody to hide.
I got
I
you.
used to
I
remember
got you.
back in the day, they used to tell me that, and and the reason why I know it was because I mean I overheard we had a pool party at my uncle's house. My auntie, you know, I'm like 30 years old, and probably like 23, 24, and one of them older dudes like damn near 40. Like, God damn, girl, she got, he ain't never seen her with a bathing suit on. He just went crazy, and he was talking to her. I'm like, God damn, man, you know what I'm saying? What's funny was the way she was raised. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was a beautiful lady and had a beautiful body. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, she didn't show her body out. She had men that was attracted to her, but they was attracted to her, but not because of her body, because she didn't show it to every man. You know,
That's a true
Shirley Caesar
statement.
had a song back in the day. She said, "You can't show your feet to every guy you meet." Wasn't that what she said?
That's what she said.
She
That's
can't show
what she
your feet to
said.
every guy you meet. If Shirley said that about your feet, what you think she's talking about the rest of your body?
There you go.
Like,
Now that's a true
guys,
statement.
but I hate what you showing your toes off, girl. You can wear those sandals all night long. You know what I'm saying? As long as that ass covered up, as long as that ass ain't out, you hear me? That ass where everybody can see it. You know what I'm saying? Put it up where I
I
can
see
see it,
you.
where it's personal for me. You know what I'm saying? Give me something to be excited for when I get home. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But it's the truth. I mean, it's the generation, like you said, it's the time. It's what we had access to when we was growing up. There weren't even cussing them. We couldn't. The cussing that that ain't shit they kept off regular TV no more. Ain't a
No.
cuss word out there that they don't say on regular national television now. So with that being said, when we was growing up, nigga, we couldn't hear no cuss word. Shit wasn't allowed on TV. Hell was barely allowed on TV. Archie Bunker said hell more than anybody else, I think.
Yep.
And Archie Bunker played a racist white man who didn't have a racist bone in his real natural body. Ain't
That's
that
a
some
true
shit?
statement. No, that's a
That
true
is a true
statement.
statement. He is one of the top donors to National Negro College Fund in the history of donation to National Negro College Fund. To this day, when
Yep.
he died, he had nobody leave his money to he left it all to the United Negro College Fund. His son murdered himself. His only son murdered himself. He didn't have no grandkids, nobody else, no other family, and that was who he left his fortune to. And he
Well,
played
you
a
know
racist.
that necessarily wasn't his. That was his. He adopted that boy.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
gonna
So
leave
he
his money
didn't.
to him. He
Yeah,
was
he
gonna leave
was.
his money
He
to him.
was.
Yeah, he was gonna leave his money to him.
And he actually sued the guy and won. The guy who gave his son the drugs, who sold his son the drugs. He actually sued
Yeah,
him.
sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. Like I tell you, man. I love. Don't get me wrong, women. We love the bodies. We love to look at them. Don't get me wrong. I love a beautiful woman. I love a beautiful body. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, women love attractive men with nice bodies. You know what I'm saying? Women like that. We ain't gonna never take that out of society. But you don't see us competing to have our clothes off on the internet like women do today. Men just
No.
don't do that. You know what I'm saying? We just don't compete like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to. We can take a nice haircut and a nice outfit and make that shit look sexy to y'all. And y'all can do the same. And we don't have to see your titties. We don't have to see your ass. We can see it, but not see it.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I
You
see.
can wear some kind of tights to make it look good, but visually we don't have to see it. We don't have to see the bottom of your booty cheek. You know what I'm saying?
Leave some mystery.
Leave some mystery for me. Leave it for me. Because I'll be honest with you, I'll look at it all day. Hell, I'll fuck around with I have sex with. If I'm a single man, I'll do it all day long. But
I see.
don't expect nothing else from me. Don't expect nothing else from me because I know that other people have access to it or already had access to it. And with that right there, I don't want. It's not that I. It's not because again, I will never compete with another man. So I'm gonna let you do you. Period. I'm gonna let a woman do her. If she feel like she gotta go, oh fuck with him. I'm good where I'm at. Got my own shit. I got my own shit going. I ain't worried about that. If you want to go fuck with somebody else, you want to leave me alone. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna live and see tomorrow. Going through life and going through what we've been through in life and going through a divorce makes you see it different. It doesn't mean that we're willing to get out of anything, but it makes you understand that shit happens and shit don't always mean that it's gonna be forever always. So I'm happy with the ever after because like I said, my grandfather was married for 40 something, almost 50 years. So I mean, my dad was married for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I do honor it, I do want it, but at the same time, I'm not willing to put up with a lot of bullshit. When I was younger, I put up with a lot of bullshit. My ex, she put up with a lot of bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we put up with that bullshit. Now that we older, we don't want to put up with that bullshit no more.
Yeah.
And
There
even
you
the
go.
ones that's in relationships, the reason why they still making it because both of them finally understood we don't want to put up with that same bullshit that we were putting up with in our 20s and 30s. And they either fixed it or they divorced. One or two things happen. They still not putting up with the same bullshit though. Because at a certain time we mature enough to know that the bullshit need to be left out.
Correct.
Bullshit need to be left out. The likes, getting on Facebook for likes is for likes. Don't get me wrong, I get on here for likes all the time, but I'm not out showing my body. I'm not out disrespecting anybody doing it. You know what I'm saying? I have fun. I talk shit. But as far as what, like I said, when I first seen TC make his comment, I was just like, wow. You know, we've been saying that for a long time. You know, because a lot of women say, well, y'all like that. We keep telling you, we like to look at it. We do. We like to look at it.
Yeah.
But you don't see us trying to settle down with any of it. Not like that. Yeah, you see You might see some of them athletes in that world with millions, but you also see them not making it with them people also. They always
Yeah.
end in divorce and everything else. Hell, no disrespect, Camilo Anthony going through it right now. I just went through it.
Yeah.
Come on, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. The images. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, it's a thought process. You know what I'm saying? You know, Camilo's done punched somebody in the face because of something they said about Miss Anthony and comments about her body and where he been with her before. So yeah, like I said, those things work. People have access to it. It changes the relationship. It changes relationships. If my homeboy can look at my wife butt naked and shit, I feel some type of way.
Oh yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? If my best friend got the same access that I got to her, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I tell people, the biggest thing I can tell anybody out there that's seeking that attention that wants to go to Facebook, I have no problem. Take pictures of your phone, keep them in your secret collection, whatever you got to do. But don't give everybody access to you. And that's not the real you anyway.
Correct. Say that.
That's not the real you anyway. That's what you want you to look like. But the reality is there's some issues bigger than that. Like they said, you need to go seek some counseling. You need to get inside and find out who you truly are and what you want out of life. You know, I see some women go have some body work and they don't even need it. They're perfectly fine. But don't get me wrong, I do understand touching up on some things, making some things look a little bit better. You know, I understand that. Nothing wrong with that. But again,
Exercise.
if you're if you're doing it to compete to try to get attention from men, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're doing it for the wrong reason.
Correct.
If you're doing it to better you and make you look better because you feel a certain type of way the way your body looks, that's fine. If it does something if it's doing something to build you up, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. But if it's beneficial for attention, though, no, it's the wrong reason.
Because you got to look at, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but you have to look at it first. At some point, I heard what you said, sweetheart. You said to exercise. Well, you could exercise, but when you done pushed your body, when you didn't, if you take a 300-pound person, it doesn't matter how much exercising that person does, it's not going to shrink back. So that skin is still going to be there. So now you're looking at your clothes and you're in a size small shirt, but you got to buy a size large because you have extra skin that you have to account for.
And then it hangs a certain way. And you got to wear an undergarment so that way it doesn't hang a certain way. So you have rolls and extra stuff. Oh yeah, I understand.
When you make changes, you at some point when you look at yourself, you look and you say, okay, I don't like this, or I don't like this, or because as you get older, things are going to change. It's going to start looking different, and especially if you had any kids. Don't even just have one, and you're gonna be like,
this is my biggest thing that I want everybody out there to understand, and it's crazy because people are gonna say we always go back to Bible. Y'all come from a religious background and y'all are getting BBLs and everything else. You can't say you're perfectly made from God and then want to change the structure that God built.
Well, come on now.
You can't. There's no way you could say you perfectly made in God and then say, well, I think if my titties was a little bit bigger, my ass was a little bit more out, I'd be a little bit more perfect. No, because you said you were perfectly made. You already said that in God. You said God made you perfect and made you individualized. None of us are equal. None of us are the same. All of us are different in God. Every one of us.
But then you got to look at what God created is perfectly made. However, you go in and you eat the worms and the woo-woos and this and that and this and that.
I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking what you're saying by getting the tummy tuck and stuff like that. There's women out here who don't quite have ass because God didn't give them a lot of ass. And they want to get ass, so they go get ass. If you say you're perfectly made in God, you're going to accept what God gave you. Because whether we like it or not, no matter how much we think this plastic surgery is perfect, in 10 or 15 years, when we find out the defects from it, we're going to change. There's always defects. They started with silicone. In breast and everything else. Everything has a problem later on. Everything has a problem. But what I can tell you, a natural woman, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. See, what you got to understand, getting a tummy tuck, you're still a natural woman. You're not adding anything.
Correct.
All you're doing is taking a little bit of something away and tightening it up. You're still a natural woman. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you women. That's
I know what you're saying.
totally
No, I
different.
know what you're saying.
I respect it. But when you start adding, understand, before Dr. Miami came, they started doing butt shots. They didn't do butt implants and stuff. They didn't do take body here and take it over. They didn't do that. They did butt shots. Then people started dying of butt shots, and people started getting sued for butt shots and everything else. They started out with silicone breasts and all that stuff, and then they started having leakage from those and everything else. Like I tell you, everything seems perfect from the beginning, and everything they tell you is right. But what I will tell you is I've never had one of those. But I will tell you is I've had a lot of surgeries in life, and every surgery I had has changed my body.
Correct.
My body has changed with every surgery. It has changed my body. And I'm not just talking about my knee. I've had multiple knee operations on the one knee. Every time I've had a knee operation, it's taking more of me away from me. No matter how much people believe it, it does. So with that being,
that's a true statement.
It's the same thing. It's no different. In 10 or 15 years, we're going to hear a lot of people coming up with a lot of big lawsuits. We're going to get a lot of big lawyers. A lot of doctors, something go away. And when it happens, we'll be like, wow. Same thing with knee replacement, hip replacement, goddamn everything going on. Every one of them started out somewhere because I've had a knee replacement. I've had issues out there with mine. So, and other people have had too. And there's been multiple millions of lawsuits between all those places. Because when they first started, it sounded good. So you're going to replace my knee and I can get back out there and get back to going with life like normal? But then there's problems, complications. So again, I would say to any woman that's willing to put her life on the line for it, power to you. Because that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. There's a chance. Anytime you get sedated to put to sleep to get any work done, there's a chance you ain't gonna wake up. There's always
that is a true statement.
That is the most.
Because look at Kanye West.
Crystal went with me to go get to go do my knee operation and just do my colonoscopy I just had. And she'll tell you it didn't. My fear did not change between either one of them. I was nervous every time I walked in the hospital because the reality of it is I'm not in control. You're not in control. You're not in control every day anyway. But you feel like you have more control when you're awake and you're in your right mind. But when somebody's giving you some kind of drug that's going to sedate you, you don't know what's going to happen.
That's true.
Accidents happen. So like I tell everybody, if you want to put your body on the line to try to be fine and try to get some likes and try to get some attention, go ahead. But what, like TC said, what type of husband are you looking for? Because that husband don't exist. But, and the ones that do want y'all is the ones that are going to end up doing harm to you.
Correct.
And that's the truth because it's a possession thing. She's fine as hell and she's an arm candy for me. And it's a possession thing. I own you, and I don't want everybody else having that attention and that access to you. In most cases, let me say that. In most cases,
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. Like I said, battling with somebody younger than me, I'd never do that. And I'll tell you that all the time. I stand on my own 2 feet. I don't no other man intimidate me in this world. He is his own man. Robert, who is on here right now, who just said some women equate their values to be the beauty and femininity to their pussy. Ooh. I didn't care. I didn't really. Ooh. That's true. But me and Rolo, we grew up. Rolo's a great man. I take nothing away from him. I don't want to compete with Rolo. I'm not going to compete with Rolo. We're friends. He's his man. I'm my own man. A woman choose him, woman choose him. Woman choose me, woman choose me. We don't do that. But we don't compete with each other either. We don't chase after each other's woman.
No.
But again, y'all, man, we hung out with y'all for the last hour and 48 minutes or whatever. Man, we're gonna go get going with our Tuesday night and get back with our family, man. We'll see y'all on Friday. Sierra, I love you. Rock, I'll see you later. Miss Johnson, thank you for joining in, man. Finally, thank you.
Always. Y'all have a great one.
All right.